on the Naira now, data from the official trading platform of the FMDQ Exchange revealed that the Naira lost 83 kobo. This represents a 0.06 or 5% loss when compared to the previous trading date on Monday, when it traded at 1,472.12 to the dollar. However, the volume of currency traded increased to over 236 or $237 million, up from $121 million recorded on Monday. Meanwhile, at the investors and exporters window, the Naira traded between 1,500 Naira and 1,362 Naira against the dollar, a decrease in the Naira against the dollar. What do you have to say about this? Like, the Naira has been taking, should I say, a downward turn now for some time now, and this is not even a joke. The other day we had a guest who outrightly stated that the Naira does not have so much value as much as it used to have in the past. Some people would tell us, oh, back then the Naira was equivalent to $1, and then you ask, what were we doing then that made that possible? And what are we doing now that is making it the way it is?
Okay, this is primary or elementary economics, okay? In the philosophy of economics, first of all, while I won't blame the current administration for the rise and fall of the dollar, I think they are not doing much in order to improve the Naira. And I will tell you. First, in the previous administration, we had a government that borrowed money to spend and not to invest. And it is simple. When you borrow and you spend, for instance, in elementary philosophy of economics analysis, when there are two states, state A and state B, okay, and you borrow, and state A, which is the profligate, begins to spend the money without investing it, and the state B, the prudent, okay, begin to invest the money. The activity of state A is going to affect state B. And why am I carrying out this particular analysis? We had a time in this country where the country borrowed money, and the state A, which will now act as some sectors in the country's economy, like the area of transportation, they told us that they were going to do so and so thing, okay, in order to improve the economy. And every resources that was actually given to them, we ended up seeing nothing, because there was no good foundation to carry out those particular infrastructures. Insecurity marred the whole process. And for that reason, every other sector of the economy is now suffering, including the fall and rise we're experiencing in the Naira today. Now, coming back to say, where do we go from here? You see, you do not pick a corpse, okay? When you pick a dead corpse, there is nothing you would do. If you apply formalin and every other thing you want to apply on that corpse, it will only be to preserve it. It is not going to come alive. So, clamping on people who spray money, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Doing some other things to see that the Naira comes up, it's a good idea. But you've not done the elementary thing. Every other activity you'll be doing for the Naira to come alive will be seen as trying to perform a miracle without following a particular scientific process.
What is the elementary thing that they have not done?
Simple. This elementary thing they've not done is revamping our production sector. Bring back Ajokuta steel. Bring back industries. In the 70s, I wasn't born then, but I read that there are some automobiles, foreign automobiles, that are being produced in this particular country. We import virtually everything in this country, including toothpick. You import everything in this country. So when the import level is far higher than the export, that is what happens. it devalues your currency, or it has a way of making your currency shrink in value. What happens to the Port Harcourt? What has happened to the Port Harcourt refinery? So you get crude from the country, you have to export and then import at a higher price. You are as good as doing nothing. You are as good as not having these natural resources if you need to take them out for them to be refined before people will start using them. Why not tell these people, yes, we have these resources here in our country. Come and situate your companies, your industries, come and situate them here in our country. You go to negotiations and the production, the import level will be reduced, and you see the Naira start coming up.
We had them here, but
yes,
some of them had to leave.
Yes, they left. They left. So let's tackle insecurity. Talk to these people, see how they can come back. Even though we want to borrow, let us borrow and revamp some of these infrastructures, these critical infrastructures, and immediately Nigerians begin to go into production, and there is a reduction in importation. You will see the Naira come alive.
Some Nigerians have come to the point where they believe, they've analyzed it. They have looked at the promises that the Port Harcourt refinery will be functional soon. And now they have analyzed it and they've realized, or should I say they have believed and concluded in their minds, in their perspectives, that some people are benefiting from the state of our refineries. And that is probably why we have not had them functional, even though promises have been made on several occasions, different years, like year in, year out. Oh, on this, maybe the first quarter of this year, Port Harcourt refinery will be functional, that year will pass. Oh, but before the end of this other year, then that's over and over and over again. So how do we solve this problem when some Nigerians already believe that some people are benefiting from the state of the refinery?
It is not a belief. You know, believing a thing and knowing a thing are two different things. In belief, there are no empirical evidences. In knowledge, there are evidences, there are proof to buttress your point. When an event has happened over and over and over again, it's enough for you to draw your conclusion, and it builds a body of knowledge. Nigerians know that people are benefiting from these things, and that is why our refineries are yet to come alive. If not, what is stopping us? So it is annoying.
You know, you have to, you need, before you can make outright statements, you need to have facts to back it up.
What are the facts?
The facts that you have mentioned, it already looks like, oh, because of the state. Exactly what I explained earlier.
Yes.
The reason Nigerians have decided that, you know what, I think people are benefiting from this is because of the state. It remains that way. Promises year in, year out. Are there other facts you have aside that?
We're still saying the same thing. You've dashed the people's hope. If there is anything the government of a people should not do to her people, it is dashing their hope. Don't give them false hope. When you tell them things, try as much as possible to see that those things are being realized. You don't come, tell them something today, tomorrow you change it and tell them for so and so reason, you keep doing it consistently, years are gone, springing into or moving forward to decades, and this has been the people's experience. Their hope goes down the drain, and they cannot make inputs or contributions. They just leave the country like that and say whatsoever that will happen, that it just happen. I think we've lost it.
Okay. Talking about the government improving or encouraging production, recently we heard in the news that loans are available for both small-scale businesses and, you know, large-scale businesses, about 1 billion naira. Then for small-scale businesses, 1 million naira. We also have nano businesses, all of these things to promote and encourage productivity. Do you see this as a step in the right direction?
You can't be doing same thing, same way, and then expect a different result. I'll throw back the question to you. Did the past administration do this? The answer is yes, they did. We had a whole lot of loan schemes initiated by the past administration. How did they end up? What is the process? What is the process? What are the systems set up on ground to actually distribute these things and make sure that these things are actually going into the hands of Nigerians?
There are systems on ground. They told us about the biometrics that will be used.
will. That's
will be used.
futuristic.
No, the loan, right, when it was talked about, they told us that these loans will be available to the people, to business owners. And this is how we aim to make sure that the right people access these loans. So it doesn't mean that we're not looking at it like they didn't put measures on ground. Measures are already on ground to make sure that these loans are accessible.
We are not saying that measures are not being put on ground. When I talk about system, we are looking at a structure. You're looking at a structure. And the problems the major problem we've always had is the problem of implementation.
Okay.
You know, when the past administration came on board, they told us they were going to give loans, in quotes, to the poorest of poor in the society. They told us how they were going to do it. Did they? They did not. So they can tell us about this biometrics.
So you're one of those Nigerians that don't want to hear about government reforms. As long as it's coming from the government, you don't believe. All right, let's look at this story, talking about the refineries now, making them functional and all of that.